Hey, my name is Colossino McIntyre, and I will be analyzing Echo Fox versus TSM. And I guess I'll begin. Uh, I personally like Echo Fox's composition much more than I like TSM's in this particular game. I think that they picked and banned to a much stronger team composition and more to what they and understood that a more clear win condition TSM did. I personally believe that TSM picked a composition that requires him to play nearly perfectly, basically. Um, but basically, past that, oh, and also, before we go on, I will also like to say I disagree, like, very much with TSM's decision to ban Lucian and not take Gangplank. Like, I mean, I was personally thinking that was the reason why they were banning it. I thought that they were banning Lucian to put Echo Fox in a position where they're forced to either take Zoe or Gangplank, and TSM would take the other. But I mean, I guess I was wrong in that case, and I disagree with the decision to take Vladimir over maybe a champion like Gnar, who I feel like would have been much better for the composition, especially because Echo Fox did get Gangplank. But in any case, it is what it is. I'll fast forward a bit. I'll pause it for a sec. So I look at TSM's composition, and I believe this is basically a time-sensitive game. Just like they most of them, end up being a very time-sensitive game, especially with when you have one team who has a scaling composition and the other who has a more early to mid game composition, so to speak. And basically, TSM is in a position to where literally every second counts. And if they don't act on, basically pressuring constantly and very effectively, then they'll lose out. But in any case, I'll go ahead and let the game play out and speak on a few points as they come up, I guess. I am a little bit confused as to why Mike Young is starting top. Yeah, this is strange. This is really strange. Yeah, I'm not sure why he's starting top because it's not like he's going to be able to do anything on the bottom side of the map, especially versus a Tristan and an Alistar. Like basically this early in the game, the most amount of pressure you're going to have is versus a Gangplank. And I mean, if you look at the position that Gangplank is in right now, he's pressured the Vladimir, which more than likely, he will do this early in the game. He's pressuring the Vladimir up into his tower, but I mean, if you look at Mike Young's HP and mana, he's in no position to do anything about it, which is clearly a win for Ahuni. And again, if you remember what I said about, I personally think that this is a really time-sensitive game, and every second does count. And it would have made more sense for him to start. I believe it would have made more sense for him to start at his blue buff, just make his way up to his red, take his wraiths, and then work his way on over to ganking Ahuni, which this would have been a prime, this would have been a really good time to gank him, especially because Hanser happened to take Ignite this early. But, in any case, he didn't decide to do that. So we'll see what happens. So now Huni knows that that Mike Young started on the side of the map, basically, because he's taken this camp just that quickly. And there's no way he would be at the camp currently if he had actually started bottom, or that camp wouldn't have been taken at all, and it's still likely, it's very likely that he's on that side of the map at that current time. So maybe Huni needs to play safe, or maybe Huni doesn't have to play very safe because it's obvious that Mike Young isn't going to be on that side of the map. Hmm. So Dardoch is gonna gank bot, which I think is perfectly fine. If there's any side of the map that you want to apply some pressure when you're playing against TSM, it's probably going to be on the bottom side of the map. Because with Sven and Mithy and the champions that they've selected, even though it may not seem like it, Braum is a very, very oppressive champion to play against, especially when he's not playing versus range champions, range supports. And so TSM is going to be in a pretty good position, or rather, Sven and Mithy is going to be in a really, really good position to pressure Altek and Adrian almost incessantly. So now the push is in Hanser's favor, and I mean that should be for pretty obvious reasons. Hanser's playing a champion, you know, can basically sustain forever in the lane. Doesn't have any mana issues because he doesn't have mana. And Huni's in a position where he's running out of mana, and he doesn't have any more potions. And he's coming up on the point to where he's gonna have Sheen. And this is really interesting. Okay, so Huni got ganked, and okay, wait a second. Huni gets ganked. Okay, he has stopwatch, and he has flash. I'm pretty sure he could have, yeah, he definitely could have survived this. Actually, then again, no, he would have died. I go back and look at it. All Hunter had to do was just pull and get in a position to where, because basically at this point right here, even if only happened to use stopwatch or flash, all Hunter has to do is, I mean, not only could he do the same thing, but he also has the option to pull, and all he has to do is just kill him once he comes out of his stopwatch, and then he just escape. He's like he has a variety of ways as to where he effectively kills Huni right here, and it's really smart of Huni to recognize it. So I mean that was a really good game by Mike Young, but I still personally believe that like I said earlier, like this gank should have happened a long time ago when Huni was level 2, level 3-ish, and pressured up to Hunter's tower. And I do believe it would have been more effective because basically all you did was you basically forced him to back at this point, which is what he was going to do anyway. He's got the items that he wants. Now he's back in the lane. And I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you've essentially done nothing. Like that gank was basically, it was nothing. Now, it's pretty obvious at this point, I think, that Dardoch is going to be pressuring the bottom side of the map for TSM, which means that Mike Young is going to react by pressuring the top side of the map because, I mean, it's pretty obvious that Huni's pretty vulnerable up there if he doesn't have any jungle pressure, and he's playing a really, well, an especially vulnerable champion like Gangplank, primarily in the early game. It seems to be basically a stalemate, which, you know, it's not surprising. I mean, TSM they need much more pressure. Like, much more pressure than the amount that they're applying at the moment. And it should be happening now. Like, this is the time that it should be happening. Okay. So here's the gank on Huni. Second gank. Alright. So, as far as I'm concerned, this tier 1 tower is it means nothing. The gold it provides means nothing. You know, the amount of so-called quote-unquote pressure it would provide means nothing. Like, this tower, I mean, I feel as though Huni should have conceded this tower after that first gank. I mean, because it was pretty obvious. Like, it was extremely obvious at that point that TSM had recognized that Dardoch was basically going to be operating on the bottom side of the map, and so they could take, you know, all of their pressure and place it on the top side of the map and sort of concede, you know, dragon control and take control of Herald and this top side, which should have alerted Huni, or Echo Fox, but more specifically Huni, to the idea that, well, maybe I should just give this up because it's not necessary for me to be at this tower. Like, I don't need to defend it. It's not important. It doesn't really do anything for our team. I mean, hell, it's probably, actually, yeah, it is better for us to give this tower up. I mean, because, yeah, I mean, it's obvious. I mean, look, the false security that this tower provides is just, it's laughable. I mean, you think you're safe, but you're not. So just get rid of it. It's basically working against you. I mean, but on the side of TSM, this is good. I mean, I believe that it shouldn't be happening, but the fact that it is happening, hey, it's good. And I mean, there's probably going to be someone that says, well, you know, why would you give up that tier 1 tower? You know, just freely, like, why would you give it up? I mean, well, I mean, I pretty much just explained that. But I mean, if I need to go into more detail, well, I mean, you want to give that up because Echo Fox's composition, all they need to do is scale. And that's basically all they need to do is scale. And all Dardoch is necessary for is to make sure that they don't bleed out on every side or in every lane on the map. Mid is doing perfectly fine. Top is losing, but it wouldn't, it basically, it could be to a point where it wouldn't be as bad as it is if Echo Fox recognized that it's not important, you know, for Winnie to have control, or to basically defend this tier 1, or even the Herald for that matter. And also, as far as on the bottom side of the map, it's probably more important that, you know, they don't get this massive lead on the bottom side of the map and get this massive amount of control, because it's probably the more important, or it's probably more important than the top side, if that makes sense. Or I mean, vice versa. Like, if they wanted to basically play more around the top side of the map as opposed to the bottom side, it's just basically to make sure that they don't bleed out everywhere, basically. And that's all Dardoch needs to do. And it would 100%, or heck, I didn't even explain that properly. It would make more sense for them to concede topside because, I mean, Gangplank is basically, he's a farm bot. He's just going to farm, and whenever you need him, he's going to ult. That's basically it. Well, it would make less sense if you conceded the bottom side of the map and you tried to play basically everything around the top side of the map, because the entire function of Gangplank around this point in the game is for him to not actively be, you know, take part in or partake in team activities as far as his avatar, like his champion, but his ultimate to basically be sort of like the substitute, or to basically take part for him. So yeah, I mean, TSM went about doing this not in the best way, but I guess it worked out sort of in the end. Yeah. It worked out in the end because TSM just basically went even on the bottom side of the map, but Hansa just completely just demolished Tony on the top side of the map. Which, like I said, Tony should have conceded this tower a long time ago. Like I don't see why he's trying to defend this tower especially versus the champion like Vladimir. I mean, so this is basically looking really good for TSM at the moment. I will say this, they probably should have done this much sooner. Like, this should be happening much sooner than what it actually is. But this is currently looking really good for TSM. If they keep up this pressure on both ends of the map, Echo Fox is in a really bad position. And probably primed to just lose the game. And this doesn't even fit Echo Fox. Like this, it's a good composition, but it doesn't particularly fit Echo Fox in how they played in the past few games. Because this is a composition that it's basically requires them to scale into the late game. But they played compositions prior to this one to where they snowball out of the early to mid game. Okay. Somehow TSM lost a lot of vision control, which is strange. I mean, before this they had a lot of control around river, but now they don't. I mean, it wouldn't be that difficult for them to reestablish the vision control that they initially had. Anyway, so I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. So yeah, like I said, I mean, they gave up the bottom side of the map to Echo Fox. So Echo Fox is going to take Dragon, and TSM's just going to trade and take Herald naturally. I mean, every second that is ticking by is working against TSM. So they're not pressuring right now. Is really bad. Oh, this is strange. This is really strange. Okay. So TSM happens to take Herald to the lane. To mid lane. Okay. Wait, okay, so let's go back. I don't believe that they should have taken Herald mid. I don't think that it was necessary. I mean, because you're in a position now to where what you could have done is you could have taken your strongest champion, your strongest, at the moment, which would be Vladimir, place him on the bottom side of the map, and place Herald on the bottom side of the map, and just let him push. And then now you have priority over a Baron. I mean, but obviously you time this like perfectly. You time this in a manner to which you kind of pick, you kind of choose. I mean, because you have Herald and you have Vladimir, so the lane's going to be pushed, and whoever you send, you probably have to send multiple people to deal with him because he's just going to run and slap over Gangplank. And if you do that, you send multiple people. Well, now you sort of just you give up Aaron. So I'm not sure why TSM did this. Yeah, that was really confusing to me. I'll fast forward. Okay, really strange teleport from Adrian, but okay. I mean, well, now they've decided to put Vladimir on the bottom side of the map, which they should have done that. I mean, TSM is basically, they've been sort of like things that they should have been doing like 3 to 5, maybe even 7 minutes prior to, they end up doing, but they end up doing it late. Hmm. Okay. So it seems as though Echo Fox is, I mean, TSM is trying to set up some Baron control, and so that, they can obviously pressure bottom, and like I said prior to now, sort of maybe force Echo Fox to make a decision. You either give up bottom side control, or you lose Baron. Hmm. Okay, this is just, none of this is important. Okay, TSM is taking Dragon. That's fine. I mean, they basically have complete control of the map at the moment because Echo Fox is far too afraid to do anything. Okay, so they end up taking the tower, which, it was already low anyway. TSM is, oh my god, so TSM is wasting so much time. They're wasting so much time. It's just said at the beginning of the game, like in such a time sensitive game, you don't have a choice. I mean, the more time you waste, every second, literally every second matters. And the more time you waste, the more time you spend. Okay. This is good for TSM. This is now they're acting, they're doing something. I mean, you got to point to it. Like Echo Fox can't do anything versus you. I'm not sure why they procrastinated and why they basically dillied for this entire time. Echo Fox has no position to do anything versus you. They're not at a point to where they have any stats. They're not at a point to where they can contest anything. This should have been done ages ago. Okay, all right. So now they're pressuring. They've Okay. This is good. This is really good for TSM. You've recognized that Echo Fox can't do anything versus you. And Echo Fox is basically scrambling. They can't team fight you, which is what their team composition is basically designed to do. Therefore, what can they do other than just get, basically shoved down the throat? Okay, good. This is really good. This should have been done, like I said, ages ago. They should have been doing this. Okay. Okay. All right, that's fine. Maybe TSM could have played that better, but they ended up getting the objective. They got the inhibitor, which is perfectly fine. Um, and I still believe that Echo Fox is a better team-fighted team than TSM, with hence the reason I think that this was so close. But at the end of the day, because they're in the position that they're in, it still worked out in the end, and they got the objective. Let's fast forward a bit. This is really good. This is what this competition is designed to do. Shove it down their throat. A bit strange. Is he gonna get caught out here? Okay, yeah. So Hunter dies. Yeah, that eliminates a lot of TSM's pressure there. It's really bad. You're probably the worst time in the game for this to happen. I mean, you're 32 minutes in the game. This is like one of the worst times for this to happen because Echo Fox is creeping up on the spike, and the team composition around this time is beginning to turn on. I mean, you already have Tristana at, 3 major items and a QSS. Gangplank has Triforce as well as Yuma's Ghostblade. Okay, wait. It's just fine. It's just fine. This is good from TSM. TSM is doing what they should be doing. It's just fine. I was about to say TSM could have actually maybe placed Vladimir bottom and just keep that pressure going because, like I said again, I mean you split this team up over here. Where you have a 4-1, a sort of a 4-1 split versus this team. This TSM's team is going to win every single time. I mean, but they're at this point they're so far ahead. Like, what is Echo Fox going to do? So they're going to get the inhibitor. They're going to most likely take the Baron. That's all really good. This is really good from TSM. And I mean, Echo Fox doesn't have any other choice. They have to fight. If they don't fight, they just roll over and die, basically. um, sure. Okay, I'll play that. I'll see what happens before I say anything. Okay. TSM got the inhibitor. That's good. There's a fight. This is really good from TSM. Good. They haven't, and I mean, again, a lot of this should have been done. Like the point that they're at right now, they're 30. It's 37 minutes in the game. Maybe they should be at this point. You know, as far as where they are. On the map and within Echo Fox's base, they should already be at this point by like 32, 33 minutes into the game. That's just how capable the composition was and how much pressure they should have been exerting onto Echo Fox. Okay. Uh, Wait a second. Okay, wait a second. Let's go back. What did they do? Let's slow this down a little bit. Okay, so Bjergsen and Sven got engaged on about the Ardok. Okay. He kidnaps Bjergsen. Mm-hmm. Hunter's on the back line. Okay, wait, let's go back. Wait a sec. What is Mike Young doing throughout all of this? Hmm. Yeah. Okay. That was bad team fighting from TSM. Okay, the fact that Hunter and Mike Young were not coordinated in that fight. Yeah, that was bad. That fight went so wrong because Hunter and like basically previously, Hunter and Mike Young, uh, and I don't believe that they specifically were, or they were specifically coordinated in the prior fights. But I definitely think that they had the same objective in mind in those prior fights. However, in this fight, it doesn't seem like they have the same objective at all. Or maybe they do have the same objective, but they're not on the same wavelength. And Hunter's acting a bit too quickly. Otherwise, that fight would have went perfectly for TSM. Well, actually, I mean, Mike Young actually ulted before Hunter was even there, so maybe that was Mike Young jumping the gun and acting too soon. I mean, because the entire point, of TSM's composition when the team fighting is for Hunter and Mike Young to basically eliminate Echo Fox's threat, which the primary threat from Echo Fox is Altec at this point. And to a lower degree, Huni, but their most consistent damage uh, is coming from Altec, and so they want to make sure to eliminate him first. And then on the side of TSM, I mean, well, basically Dardoch going about jumping onto TSM's back line doesn't really matter much. I mean, he isn't really a threat. He's just basically there to disrupt for as long as possible. Because all three of those champions, or that entire back line from TSM is more than capable of peeling for themselves. Uh, they got separated. Mike Young looks lost a lot of the time. Uh, Imagine if Mike Young actually helps Bjergsen right there. I'll take the eyes. TSM wins the fight. That's what happens. I mean, because one of the biggest reasons why you pick Ezreal, and then especially Braum on top of Ezreal, is a ridiculous ability in team fights to self-peel. It's really, really, really difficult to lock down a champion like Israel in a team fight, and then when you have a champion like Braum, who's basically capable of blocking all of your burst in one entire rotation. I mean, you basically you have an impenetrable backline in terms of the Ezreal and the Braum. So then at that point, the only real entry or the only real vulnerability is the Malzahar. Okay. TSM goes down. Yeah, it sucks with TSM. You lose a lot of your damage when you don't have Bjergsen. Like a lot of your damage. I would have probably even just, kept Mike Young there, with the opportunity, like if the opportunity to steal the Baron presented itself, then hey, go for it. And just three of them just ran it down to try and take an inhibitor, maybe even two. But opting to fight this, to fight these guys without Bjergsen, wasn't the best idea. Okay. Oh shoot, sorry. I got to speed it back up. Oh man, TSM is not looking good. They made one too many critical mistakes. And it's already at the point to where Echo Fox's composition has come online. Okay, they're still putting up a fight. Okay. Wait. Oh, this is so bad. Okay. If we look down there, oh shit, I don't know. Can't really see it. If you look down the bottom side of the map, like you can see TSM has a massive wave down there. Why don't before you do anything, you just wait until that wave crashes? Just give one of their players a chance to show down there, clearing that wave, and then you push it, you advance to take that inhibitor. I mean, because, this was bad from TSM. Let's see how it happens. Let's see how it goes. Maybe they win. That was bad. Oh, man, that was bad. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back and look at the team fight. What happened in the team fight? Okay, so TSM got engaged on. Mike Young engaged onto Dardoch. Jesus Christ. Hunter got completely annihilated. Where did his HP bar go? This fight shouldn't have, it should have never even happened. If TSM was just literally a few seconds more patient, this fight likely would have never even happened. Especially not to the degree, or it would have, been more in TSM's favor. I mean, there's still 2 inhibitors down though. But this, I mean, honestly, the game should have been over like a long while ago. But TSM is basically giving Echo Fox opportunity after opportunity to come back into the game. But by not only poor decision making, but also really bad team fighting. Questionable team fighting, rather. Yeah, alright, man. This is bad. What are you doing? So that was Hunter getting caught out again. Okay, I'm really confused as to why Hunter is still grouped with them. I mean, I guess it's because they're going for that one inhibitor, but I mean, there's other things that they could be doing. Like at the moment, like Echo Fox is just in a better position to fight as 5. Like I don't think TSM is gonna win any longer by fighting as 5. I don't see it happening. I mean, it's basic. I mean, it's basic at this point. Like, unless Echo Fox really fucks up now, Echo Fox is gonna win. You know, it's pretty much like that. All Echo Fox has to do is just basically run down mid. TSM, they're not gonna out team fight them now. They're already a better team fighting team, and they have a stronger composition at this point as 5. Yeah, TSM messed up bad. Damn. Okay, so I guess now it's in the favor of Echo Fox, and now it's up to Echo Fox to either execute or let's go back before this team fight even finishes. I think to pause it and actually play it at normal speed so I can see what the hell is happening. Okay. Alright, so Dardoch engages. He captures both Mike Young and Mithy. Pulls him back into his team. Launcher's currently pushed out of the fight. Dardoch is ulted by Bjergsen. Hunter actually dives into the back line. Mike Young is nowhere to be found. Let's go back. That's game. Yep. It was a time-sensitive game. TSM had the game in their hand. I still think that them not making the decisions there was good actions. They were just at the wrong times. I think they were off by, you know, maybe as much as 5 to 7 minutes, because they spent a lot of the most important time for them actually just doing nothing. when it was the most pinnacle time. Like it was a time where they should have been doing the most um, in the game, and they allowed it to get to a point to where Echo Fox was basically unbeatable. I mean, there was a lot of times where TSM should have been not operating as a five-man unit, especially with the amount of strength that Hanser had on this Vladimir. But TSM decided to operate as a five-man unit versus Echo Fox at a point to where they were strongest as a five-man unit and try to beat them at their win condition. There's not much more to say about this game other than TSM shouldn't have lost this game. It does show that Echo Fox is very vulnerable, I think. And maybe they learn from this, maybe they don't. Maybe they try and replicate the same composition and the same sort of idea of how to play. But I do believe that Echo Fox has very much more to figure out, and also TSM does. But Echo Fox is, the victor of this game, and TSM is going to go back and probably go over, where they messed up at, and I'm pretty sure that, they're going to figure out a pretty long track record of figuring out where they went wrong, and fixing it, and they'll be in, peak shape for playoffs. However, I think this is really good that this happened. It showed that Echo Fox has a lot of exploitable things about them, and a lot of inconsistencies in their gameplay. And they tried to play a style that doesn't fit them today or in this game. But in any case, I would like a lot of feedback from anyone that is willing to give me some feedback. And this is actually my first video, so please don't be too harsh. I guess it actually doesn't matter. But thanks for watching, and please do find me on any sort of media platform that you can and support me, please. And I really appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.